Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are in episode 5 of Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam. We had seen 4 episodes of interesting korvais, of sequences, of creative ideas. Today I'm going to teach you some more korvais to give a different perspective. Before I get into the class, I will start the class with the Thirukkural. எனைத்தானும் எஞ்ஞான்றும் யார்க்கும் மனத்தானாம் மானா செய்யாமை தலை. What is the meaning of it? எங்கும் எப்பொழுதும், wherever you are, all the time, துயரத்தை தரும் காரியத்தை சிறிதளவும் மனமறிந்து செய்யலாகாது. If a thing is going to give you suffering, you should not do it with your mind, with the conscious of your mind. You should refrain from doing that. அதுவே சிறந்த அறமாகும். That's the greatest wisdom. That's what the ruler states. With this good thought, I will enter into the class. We are now in the 5th episode of Misra, Jathi, Jampa, Thalam. Last class would have been pretty interesting, I suppose, because it had a lot of musical patterns. I taught you the descending and ascending sequences and also a creative way of how to join the phrases in a different dimension, like the first piece and the last piece. Now we play a lot of puzzle games. As I told you in my Balapadam, we're going to play a lot more because it's assembling of phrases after all. Today I'm going to teach you a few more assembling of phrases just to give some more ideas. All these ideas are going to be greatest of building blocks for you to build much more complex structures. It's something like architects, the real estate builders, if you look at, each one constructs it beautifully. They give elevation in a different style. It's their own creation. But how all these happens, how they come out with all these mammoth structures, the basics, the foundation blocks, as you call it, and if you're very strong on all these structures and creations and grouping of phrases, you can build many wonderful structures as you do in buildings. You can also do with Laya patterns. Today let's see a few more interesting patterns which I'm going to teach you today. Now this one is a progressive way of constructing from like a relay race. I will teach you. I end in a particular phrase and then I start, that will be my starting point, like Aksharantadi. I will take that piece and then I will build it from there. Then when that phrase ends, I will take it from there and I will start off the next phrase. So that's going to be the structuring of today's class. So I'm going to take phrases taka takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takatakita, takadimi takatakita. So which is 5, 7, 9, 11, all odd pieces. Because it's always interesting to play with odd numbers, so you can make it even all the time. So when you're combining it, all odds become even. So that's the exercise we're going to do today. Takatakita, takadimi takita, takadimi takatakita, takadimi takatakita. The last phrase is a little trickier. Takadimi. Yes? Taka, 1, 2, 1, 2 makes it 6. Takatakita is 5, it's 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. So that alone you may be pretty confusing. I want to give an explanation around it. Now let's construct it. Takatakita takadimi takita taga. Now I finished with takadimi takita. The next phrase construction would be takadimi takita takadimi takatakita taga. Now I'm ending with 9 phrase. I'm going to start off with the 9 phrase now. Takadimi taka takita takadimi taka takita taga. So that's how the construction goes. So this is one of the example, and use these examples and you can try with all any of your learnings and see whether you can make it something interesting. Because again now this is an ocean. As you know, as one of my masters used to say, if you're walking on a beach, whoever has a urge for searching and now they're excited to search and then get the shells, suddenly you'll get a marvelous shell out of the sand. Now whenever I used to go to beach, I used to collect some seashells, and those shells are beautifully grained with beautiful colors. Some are big, some are small, some are even larger. You will be surprised to see beautiful things which you will get. But this will happen only when you search. And if you don't search and if you just walk and come, you will not find anything out. So you might have to continuously search in your life as well if you want to get something out of it. So you might have to keep learning, keep searching, and that's how the word research has come in picture, I guess. Because the research is nothing but your doctorate. You're searching again and again. It's already available, but you research, and then finally conclude, hey, this is the fact, this is the truth. And then people acknowledge, hey, it's true. But the beauty is, it's all existing in this world. Only thing is, we are just finding it, we are discovering it for the first time. And that's getting appreciated by others. Having said that, so let's see the construction on the korvai as well. Taka takita taka dimi takita ta. Taka dimi takita taka dimi taka takita ta. Taka dimi taka takita taka dimi taka takita ta. Ta di ki ta dhum ta di ki ta dhum ta ding gan na tum ta dikita ta dikita ta dikita ta. See, if you look at it, the later phrase is constant generally. Typically, you should have it simple. That's why when I have constructed all these korvais as a basic korvai when I'm teaching, I want you to have it very simple. For the simple reason, the first half can be more complicated. But when you're landing, when you're going, somebody is going to join you after a particular place, you have to make the others also comfortable. If you make that complicated, the other person might not know where to join with you. So it's important that you always make it simple, especially the later half of the korvai or the sequence, whatever you're forming. To me, I feel it's much more logical because you do not know the prowess of the other person. If the person is skillful, you might take it, but if he's not as skillful as yours, you may not be able to take it, and then it might be you may not get the right applause or recognition after you have done a lot of good work as part of your solo or whatever. End of the day, when you want to get recognized, you need to ensure that you have a team effort coming in. That's an important point I want to table. So, in this pattern, most important learning for you is the way I've got structured it. Structured in a progressive way. 5-7-4, 7-9-4, 9-11-4. So it has taken a lead from the previous phrase, and then it's taking it off. And from the next phrase, it takes the lead and goes to the next phrase. You can take it as far as you want. But the point is, it should be beautiful. So this is the beauty of a concept which I wanted to introduce. Progressively constructing an odd phrase and making it even. And beauty is 5 plus 7, 12, again even, plus 4, 16 is even. 7 plus 9 is both are odd, when you combine it 16 it's even, plus 4, 18 is even. 9 plus 11 both are odd, when you combine it's 20 which is even, plus 12, 4, 24 is even. The midpoint is 20, again it perfectly fits in Misra Jampa. 20 is a multiple of 10. So the construction is more apt for this particular Thalam. That's the point. Taka takita taka dimi takita ta. Taka dimi takita taka dimi taka takita ta. Taka dimi taka takita taka dimi taka takita ta. Taka di ki taka tungu ta di ki taka tungu. That is how this korvai is structured. That's one way of doing it. The next structuring is you do the descending way. Taka takita taka dimi takita tak dum dum. Taka takita taka dimi takita tak dum dum. So you do a gobuchayati and you also have a shrotavaheti. Meaning you have 5-4-3, you have 3-5. You descend and then you ascend. That's the construction here. Taka takita taka dimi takita ta dum dum. Taka takita taka dimi takita ta dum dum. Taka takita taka dimi takita ta dum dum. Ta dikita ta dikita ta dikita ta dingita dum ta dikita dum taga di ke taga dum ta. Like that you can add. That's a reverse way of doing the sequence. Now another interesting pattern I could think of is making a 16 in a brilliantly odd format. Introduced in this phrase is again a beauty of 16. Takita 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 takadimi takita ta. It's actually structured as takita takita takita. 3 takita is 9. Takadimi takita is 7. I'm structuring like this. Takita 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 takadimi takita ta. Takita 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 takadimi takita ta. Takita 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 takadimi takita ta. Ta di ki taga tum ta di ki ta tum ta dingan na tum ta dikita ta dikita ta dikita ta. The beauty here, there is a variety, there is a creativity which you can use it. You can disposition this takadina as appropriately. Takita, 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 takadimi, takita is the first phrase. You can play it as takita, takita, takadina, takita, takita. The takadina you can push it in earlier. Then the next way you can do it is takita, takadina, takita, takita, takita. So you can tell in 3 different ways of the 16 of 3-3-3-4-3, 3-3-4-3-3, 3-4-3-3-3. It's all synonyms. So that is the beauty of this phrase, where you can disposition a particular phrase from one place to other. So this korvai is brilliantly structured, which you can use the dispositioning of takadina in this phrase systemically from one place to other. Meaning, takita, 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 takadimi, takita is the first level. The second level would be you shift the takadina early part into earlier phrase, earlier jumble piece. Takita, takita, takadimi, takita, takita. When you do it next time, takita, takadimi, takita, takita, takita. So the takadina jumps places. And then you should remember where all it gets jumped and you should tell appropriately. If you miss it, then you get confused. So you should have your concentration and memory very, very outstandingly good and very clear when you do this. So let me express that to you. Takita, 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 takadimi, takita, ta. Takita, takita, takadimi, takita, takita, ta. Takita, takadimi, takita, 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 ta. Taga, tihi, tigi, taga, tungu, ta, di, ki, ta, dum, ta, dingan, na, tum, ta, dikita, ta, dikita, ta, dikita, ta. That's how this korvai can be framed. So I taught you 3 different varieties of the same korvai. So it's like a relay, taka takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takita, takadimi takatakita, takadimi takatakita, takadimi takatakita. We saw that pattern. The next pattern what we saw is takatakita, takadimi takita, tak dum dum. Takatakita, takadimi takita, tak dum dum. Takatakita, takadimi takita, tak dum dum. The next phrase what we saw, takita 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 takadimi takita ta. Takita takita takadimi takita takita ta. Takita takadimi takita 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 ta. So this phrase we saw, The later half you can play in different forms, reverse and also the direct way. That is sequence number 1. Now let's look into the korvai 2. I'll teach you how we can interestingly do this. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana dong. Tat tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Tat di tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana 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 dong. Tat kitatto dum. Tat kitatto dum. Tat kitatto tha. So as I told you, this is very simple. I used the prayogam of 12 beats abhiprayam. So I fixed that phrase which we already learnt in Rupaka Thalam. I told you about how it's beautifully structured. Tharidana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana dong. Tat tharidana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Tat di tharidana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana. That's 12 beats. For the rest 8 beats, I filled with tadi kitatto dum dum dum. Tadi kitatto dum dum dum. Tadi kitatto dum. So let's look at it. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana dong. Tat tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Tat di tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana 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 dong. Tadi kitatto dum. Tadi kitatto dum. Tadi kitatto tha. As I told you, this korvai should not be explicitly played. It should be kept in mind to ensure that you have grasped the laya aspect of it. The 7 should be kept in mind. So that's the point I want to make here. The second approach I'll teach you. The second core variety goes like this. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana dong. Tat tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Tat di tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana 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 dong. Tat di kitattum. 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 Tat di kitattum tha. The first variety. I am playing it explicitly as it's a class, you have to understand it. As I told you, this korvai should be kept in mind. Tadi kitatto dum. Tadi kitatto dum. Tadi kitatto dum. And let's look at the last variety. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana dong. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Tardana kitataka takadari kitataka takadana takadana dong. Takitattum. Tadi kitattum daga. Takitattum. Tadi kitattum daga. Takitattum. Tadi kitattum tha. Here, I've just made a small shift. The tat taddi removed, and then it gives a different dimension to the korvai. That's how you should play this korvai. So we have seen some interesting sequences. I think that's good enough for you. We have covered quite a bit of patterns, ascending, descending, and we have saw sort of constructing from one phrase to other, telling it in the reverse way. We have seen many korvais now. I want you to digest all these facts, whatever the learnings I've given in these classes. Try to apply this in Ganda Chapathalam as well. You have double homework for you because it's not easy. You have to tell it in Ganda Chapathalam. All these things, whatever I taught you, that's not an easy joke. So you have to try all these, try it out in Ganda Chapus to get the firm grip of how to tell it. All these things. I'll see you in the next class with concluding this Thala with Mora and Korvai. Before that, I'll end this class with a Thirukkural. தன் உயிர்க்கு இன்னாமை தான் அறிவான் என் குலோமன் உயிர்க்கு இன்னாச் செயல் பிறர் செய்யும் தீங்குகள் தன் உயிர்க்கு துன்பம் தருவதை அனுபவித்து அறிபவன். If you do a harmful act, if you had realized it in your life in one day on some form or other, பிற உயிர்களுக்கு தான் துன்பம் செய்வது என்ன காரணத்தினாலோ, then why should a person do some harmful acts too after realizing that's going to give you an harmful effect? That's what Thiruvallur quizzes and why people behave like this. With this good thought, I'll conclude this class. In fact, I will conclude in the next episode, Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam, with Moras, new Moras and korvais. With that, we are completing, as usual, 6 episodes of different dimensions of korvai and mora to build your creativity. Purvinur RVA signing off. I will see you in the next class with new moras and korvais, which will be a concluding episode for Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam. Episode 5 Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam Korvai 1 Mathematical Understanding Total count of 120 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. Taka takita taka dimi takita tam. Taka dimi takita taka dimi taka takita tam. Taka dimi taka takita taka dimi takita tam. Taga digi kigi taga dum ta di ki ta dum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta. Episode 5 Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam Korvai 2 Mathematical Understanding Total count of 120 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. Takita taka dimi taka takita tak dum dum. Takita taka dimi taka takita tak dum dum. Takita taka dimi taka takita tak dum dum. Ta di ki ta dum ta di ki ta dum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta. Episode 5 Misra Jathi Jampa Thalam Korvai 3 Mathematical Understanding Total count of 120 aksharas. Interpretation of korvai goes like this. Takita 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 taka dimi takita ta. Takita 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 taka dimi takita ta. Takita 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 taka dimi takita ta. Ta di ki ta dhum ta di ki ta dhum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta dikita tum ta.